We now have North Korea putting their threats toward China in an unspecific manner. We've heard the saber rattling back and forth, back and forth. How many times are they going to warn each other this and that of all this other crap? We've seen the head fakes, and we know the Kim Jong-un likes to run his mouth, likes to drop threats. He said he would reduce the U.S. to ashes. We discussed that last night on Underground World News Live. We discussed their capabilities, the reality if something did happen, on what was really going down, who really let it happen, and the capabilities of them hitting Japan, South Korea, their closest neighbors. Well, it seems now that the Trump administration is putting a lot of weight into this China thing. Of course, they had the talks, but they seem to think that China is the only way to resolve this peacefully without nukes flying. Because they feel that Kim Jong-un and his regime will not come to the table to talk with the U.S. or anyone else. And at this point, it seems like North Korea is feeling a bit backstabbed. Obviously, the coal got shut off, but here, after the talk of shutting off oil, we have comments that are directed at China without calling out China. They warned that a neighbor country will certainly face a catastrophic ending to their bilateral relationship as long as it continues to apply economic sanctions together with the United States. That obviously was focused toward China. They say if the country keeps applying economic sanctions on North Korea while dancing to the tune of someone else after misjudging the will of the DPRK, it may be applauded by the enemies of the DPRK, but it should get itself ready to face the catastrophic consequences in the relationship with the DPRK, in the ending relationship. Basically, severing ties. This is the shot across the bow to China without even mentioning China's name. It's pretty obvious who they're talking about. And very rarely do they ever bark back at China with any kind of rhetoric like this, any kind of statement, any kind of threat, anything. So they are. I mean, what do you do if you're Kim Jong-un at this point and everything's closing in on you? Are you still going to pull off that nuclear test? I mean, there has to come a decision, a point in time where you say, okay, my country, the people, food, everything else is more important than us getting nuked or anything dealing with these nukes or these tests. Now, I don't know what else he should expect when he's been dropping threats on everyone, saying he will reduce countries to ashes. Yeah. Once you get the military on the move, they're coming for you. They're going to eliminate him at some point in time. And I truly feel like this whole thing with China, it's kind of, I think, the U.S.'s attempt to say, hey, we tried. We tried a peaceful resolution. We tried to get the Chinese involved. We tried to do everything we could before we had to make military moves. And I believe that you're going to see new weaponry, stuff that may not even look like weapons, deployed out there. And they could have already done so with taking out that first missile test. Their silence says a lot to me, and they absolutely refuse to deny having anything to do with that event. So I would be keen to more things like that. What looks to be some kind of technical difficulty on North Korea's end, where something explodes right in their face, in all actuality, was actually hit with something. So I would expect more of that. Instead of seeing missiles fly, bombs drop, if they've got the capability to do these tricky little things, I would expect more. But at this point, this is the latest rhetoric from North Korea aimed toward China. Wanted to get it out there and let it be known. I will continue to cover these things as things change. I'll leave a link below. It's been Dabu7. Peace.